So that's a great question because it just reminds me of 2020. Sean Murphy-Bunting was that guy, getting all of the interceptions. So offensively, the first guy that popped into my head, and I don't know if this counts because it depends on how many snaps the Bucs will give him.
Right.
But Rachaad White, obviously, I think can kind of be what Leonard Fournette was to the Bucs in 2020. Just being the guy that they're going to ride out. I'm not saying the run game is going to get insanely better, but I think Rachaad White or Cade Otton as well. I don't want to steal too many players, but Cade Otton has shown he can not take over games, but he can, be a huge factor late in games. I would love for him to start doing things in the first half and continue to. He's Mr. Second Half, in my opinion.
Right.
Is Cade Otton. Defensively, just riding what he's been doing in recent weeks. Anthony Nelson, if he can continue to get to the quarterback, I think that goes a long way for this Bucs defense. The strip sacks, the just consistent pressure. I think Anthony Nelson might be it.
I'm going to start on defense, and I'm going to go Sean Murphy-Bunting. The guy's just played really, really good football. Yeah. He's in a contract year. I think one of the biggest things for him, Matt, it's been two things, right? It's been injuries, right? He's been banged up at times, but then it's also when he's healthy, it's been a lack of confidence.
Yeah.
And I just think, he's got into his head sometimes. He doesn't have Jamel Dean can give up a touchdown. That I don't think he's given up one this year. Maybe he gave up. Actually, I think he gave up one or two in the Packers game, but he's had a really good year. But Jamel Dean is just like he's like happy-go-lucky. He's like, oh, well, give up a touchdown. I'm going to go out and get a pick the next play. That's just his mentality. I think Sean has kind of beaten himself up a little bit, but his confidence is riding high right now. I would not be surprised at all if he, the only problem with Sean, though, is he's probably not going to see many snaps now in defense unless they really want to, cycle him in and kind of preserve Jamel Dean, because Jamel Dean has got a banged up toe, right? And you have Carlton Davis with the shoulder. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see kind of a three-headed monster rotation at the outside cornerback spot, because you're going to see Antoine Winfield Jr. in the slot for sure. Yes. But I like SMB. I think he's going to come up with some plays here in the preseason game against Dallas. And I think on the offensive side, I don't know. I'd love to say Rachaad White. It just seems like whether it's Byron Leftwich or Todd McNair, the running backs coach, I don't know. It's like he starts the game and then we just don't see enough of him, And I think that the thing that could be holding Rachaad White back is Byron Leftwich. So I'm going to go with Russell Gage. I don't know why, but Russell Gage just seems to kind of be that guy that's showing up around the end zone. And
yes, he crossed my mind as well. And I was thinking, he's kind of been the goal line receiver for the Bucs this year. They've gone away from the fade pass to Mike Evans. Chris Godwin tends to do a lot of his work over the middle of the field. Again, trying to go from the 20 to the other 20. Hasn't really been a red zone presence as much outside of screens at the line of scrimmage. So Russell Gage, I think, is a good pick because he seems to be that, the security blanket red zone guy for the Bucs in recent weeks. Yep. So